Defragment channel, and in today's video I'm going to show you the best way to speed up your Windows 10 and Windows 11 PC without any additional softwares, and this is recommended by Windows themselves. So the first thing we would want to do here is defragment our hard drive. So what that means is every time a file is deleted or created, it is stored in different places on the hard drive. So defragmentation will just organize all those small bits of data in certain location where the PC can easily access it. So you want to just click on your Windows key, then you want to just type in defragmentation. So as you can see, defragment, you can just click on that one. So as you can see, it will give you all this information right here. So I have my C drive there and all the drives that I have on my PC. So for you to do the process, you just want to click on the actual hard drive itself and then say analyze. So for me, as you can see, this has already been done. So once the drive is scanned and it's okay, it will write okay there. So meaning you can just click on the drive and then click on optimize, and then that will optimize the drive. And you want to make sure that you go here under change settings, then you want to set to run on schedule, okay, which is daily. You don't want it to be under weekly, set it to daily. Okay, and then you want to take this increase priority so that it does it every day. Then the second thing that you would want to do here is go and change your performance settings. So again, you can just click your Windows key and then you just want to type in performance. So you should see this adjust the performance. Okay, just click that. Okay, so once you click that, you should see this pop up here. Usually it's under let Windows choose. So now you just want to say adjust for best performance. Just make sure that is ticked there. Okay, and then also under the same performance options, we want to do something called paging. Okay, so this is just the space, a virtual memory that Windows itself creates on your hard drive. So it uses that as its virtual RAM. Okay, so you want to make sure when you go under or advanced there, okay, you want to click where it says change. Okay, so as you can see here, you can either say automatically manage paging file size for all drives. Okay, so this is up to you, or you can still set your lowest and your highest. So as you can see, the way I did here, I did my initial, which is 500 MB to 5000 MBs max. Okay, so this is up to you, but if you want, you can just set it to automatically manage paging storage, so Windows will automatically manage that for you. Okay, then you also want to make sure that you don't have a lot of startup applications. So there's a shortcut to open up a task manager, or you can either right click anywhere on your taskbar here, right click, you can go to task manager, or you can press Ctrl Shift and escape at the same time, and then it will give you the same results. Okay, so now when you have your task manager open like that, you just want to make sure you navigate where it says startup. Okay, so make this big startup, and then you want to click on that startup so that it arranges them like the highest to the lowest. So as you can see, these are the apps that I have that startup with my system. So let's say if I don't want this application, or I rarely use the application, you just want to click on it and then you can click this disable. So that will disable it from always starting up. And also, as you can see, these start up together with Windows. So meaning that's why you see your PC delaying to boot up, because all these apps has to start first before the PC can be usable. So you want to make sure if something is not important, just make sure you remove it from startup. And speaking of startup, again, there is a Windows feature that allows you to reopen all those applications that you had previously before the reboot, of which that also slows down the PC because it reopens all those startup applications. So we can disable that just by going to settings. So you can click your Windows key again, then you want to click where it says settings. Okay, so once you are under settings, you want to go under accounts here, go to accounts, then you want to go where it says signing options, click on that. Then you want to scroll all the way down and you want to make sure you untick this. If it was on, make sure you tick it off, because that restart automatically restarts all those applications that we had previously before our sign out, and it will restart them while we sign in. So meaning all those applications will reopen again once we restart the PC. So you want to untick that, so that will also improve your PC performance. Okay, moving on to the next thing, which is cleaning the disk. Okay, this is also important, and every time I think you've noticed where if you are running low on storage, your PC becomes slower because maybe it's finding a hard time to find where everything is. So we can clean up our disks just by again click on the Windows key, just type in clean. As you can see, you will see this disk cleanup. Just click disk cleanup, and then here it will ask you to choose the hard drive you want to do the cleanup on. So let's say I want to do it on my C drive, then you want to press OK. So that will start scanning your drive. Then it will give you this small pop-up menu, as you can see. So you can choose to also clear up your temporary files. You can also choose to clear your recycle bin. Okay, so all these temporary internet files, so all these it will clear. And also if you find the Windows ODA, you can also untick that. That will also free up a lot of space on your system. So now I can click on this clean. Okay, so now that will do its job. So I can just press OK again. Okay, so as you can see here also, I can just tick that Windows, all these things I can tick. Okay, so now, so this is also up to you, it's also just preference. Okay, then I'll just press OK, and then it will say to delete all the files. I'll just say confirm, and then it will start cleaning the drive. So for all unnecessary information like temporary files, as you saw, everything that is on the recycle bin. So make sure before you stick recycle bin, just make sure that the recycle bin does not contain any other important thing that you would want to get later on. Moving on to the next step, of which is the most important one also, is power settings. Okay, so people don't understand why power settings slow down their PC, but I'll explain that to you. So when you click your Windows key again, open up power, just type in power settings. As you can see, you should get this power and sleep settings. Click on that. Okay, so once you click on this, you want to go where it says additional power settings. Okay, so now when you click on that additional power settings, you should see something like this. So usually your PC is either on balanced or on power saving. So now this, as you can see, power saving reduces your PC performance where possible. So meaning every time you set your power settings to either this or that, usually it reduces your PC performance. Using a desktop, there's nothing like power usage and everything. Let's say for a laptop, maybe you would want to set it to balance so that the performance is balanced with the battery life. But in terms of you wanting performance, you just want to make sure that you tick this high performance there. So this will give your PC the best performance. It won't restrict it based on power usage. Okay, so that's also one of the most important ones. And also you want to disable background applications. So these are just apps that run in the background while you're not using them or you're using them. So this also reduces PC performance. So the way you can disable them is simply by also going to settings. So once you're under settings, go to privacy. Okay, so under privacy here, you should see on your side panel here where it says background apps. Just click background apps, and then it will give you all the list of all the applications that run in the background. So you want to make sure that if there's something that you don't use, or that's something that is not there, always just make sure you untick it. For example, let's say I don't use Cortana, I don't use this, I don't use that. Okay, then once you're done like that, then you're sorted. You can now close the screen, and then we can look at another thing, which is making sure that your PC is up to date. So this is also one of the important ones, because you want to make sure that your PC is on the latest version. So you might find if you're running an old PC, there might be maybe bugs that are causing the PC to be slow. So you want to make sure that you're running the latest version of Windows and all the software that you're running on your PC, so that you don't run into issues later on. Okay, so the way you can check that as well is simply you can just click your Windows key. You can even type in Windows Update if you want to, or you can go into settings. So I can just say Windows, and then you can see Update Settings. Just click on that. Okay, so once you are here by Windows Update, as you can see, it will tell you you are up to date. If you are not, it will tell you you are not. Or you can also click this check for updates, and then it will make sure it checks for updates. Maybe it's quite behind, so it will show you that it needs update there, and then you can just click update, and then it will update the things for you. The other things also is restarting your PC when you've seen it slow. Okay, a lot of people underestimate this part. That's why I think you've noticed, like maybe in IT movies, the first thing they'll tell you, know, have you tried restarting the PC? So restarting the PC will also help speed up the PC when it's running slow. Maybe it's because there are a lot of issues that might happen maybe with Windows in the background that you're not aware of. So maybe corrupt files and stuff like that. So restarting a PC might help solve that slowness at that point. So try to restart the PC. Then if it doesn't, you can also try all these other methods that I've been telling you, and they still have more. Okay, and the other thing also is you want to make sure that you disable all unnecessary applications. You want to uninstall all unnecessary applications, because you're installing a lot of applications that you don't use on a PC. It's just using up resources of which you are not using. So it's making you use up a lot of resources for things you're not using. So the way you can uninstall apps that you don't need on your PC, same thing, you can click your Windows key, you can just type in add. Okay, you will see this add or remove programs. Just click on that. So that's a shortcut. I'm teaching you shortcuts. Okay, so it will take you to this screen here. So from here now you can choose which applications don't you want. For example, if I don't want Blender, I can just click on uninstall and then click uninstall. So that will uninstall the application itself. So meaning anything that I don't need here, I can just click on it and then choose uninstall. So this will remove that program from my system, meaning I now have resources, because as you can see, let's say for example, if I look for apps, some of the apps are like 400 megabytes, some of them like 2 gigs. So it depends with the type of apps and what you use them for. But if you're not using the app and you feel it's not necessary to keep the app, as you can see, this is 2.4 gigs, this is 3.0 gigs. So that's like up to you to choose which apps you don't use, so that you free up space on your system for apps you're not using. Okay, and the other thing now is, which is also one of the important things, is installing legit, or let's say quality apps. So what I mean by this is, don't just install any applications that you find on the internet, because this can bring in malware that can slow down your PC, or also the software might not be compatible maybe with the version of Windows that you're running, because of maybe it's running an old update or some old softwares that are not compatible, or it's using old drivers. So this is why you need to also make sure that you download apps from the Microsoft store or from legit websites, so that you don't run into issues of malware or PC malfunctions because of an application misbehaving. So that was just part of my tips on how to speed up Windows 10 and Windows 11. So if you like the video, please leave a like, subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss any of my future uploads. See you in the next video.